So, since we had the first day of lockdown, I thought we'd have a bedtime story. I've restarted this about 5 times now because I keep saying something that either makes me very sad or the cat scratches at the door. So let's just get on and read it, shall we? So today, I thought I'd read this book. So whose boat is this boat? I decided to read this one because I think it's very relevant at this time. It was created by Stephen Colbert on his show using actual quotes from Donald Trump from during Hurricane Florence. And I thought it would be interesting to remind ourselves of the kind of person that Donald Trump is when there is a disaster. It might make us feel a little better about how terrible he's acting during this disaster if we remember how terrible he acted in the other disaster that I remember in my lifetime Donald Trump dealing with. I have an American friend. She's quite terrified, to be honest, with what's going on over there, and I feel so helpless. And I'm really sorry about all the misinformation that he's spreading. It's not very good. Anyway, this is meant to be a bedtime story, not meant to scare you into ever falling asleep again. So what I thought I'd do is read this book that Stephen Colbert created. Like I say, he created it using Donald Trump's actual words. So, whose boat is this boat? Comments that don't help in the aftermath of a hurricane by Donald J. Trump by accident. So there he is on the front. I do like how he's got his trademark tan around there. That's another good thing to do whenever you're angry with Donald Trump. Just remember that picture where his hair was all blown out of his face. That always helps me because he looked ridiculous. But he didn't really realise that he looked ridiculous. He didn't really care. Or he probably lied about it afterwards. I'm taking the paper off because it makes a bit of a noise. And this is a nice book it's printed underneath too. So, whose boat is this boat? This book is comprised solely of comments spoken by President Donald J. Trump in the wake of Hurricane Florence on September the 19th, 2018, in New Bern, North Carolina. Now, I don't know where places are in America. I don't know where all the states are. But my friend lives in Michigan, and I do know that Michigan is where Flint is, and Flint still don't have clean water. If you haven't watched that documentary about Flint and the water, that's an eye-opener. Anyway, we're not talking about Flint. We're talking about whose boat is this boat? I think this might be the hurricane coming. Oh no. There's the White House. And a plane leading it. I think that might be Mr. Trump off to make people feel even worse about what's going on. Let's have a look here. Oh, here he is. Arriving in... I've already forgotten the place because my memory's bad. Is it again? I do apologise. Don't take it personally. I don't know where any of my friends live either. New Bern. So here he is arriving in New Bern with all the devastation that happened because of a hurricane that was no one's fault. But he's happy because all the media's there, and we all know how much Donald Trump loves to court the media. He looks happy. I don't think these people are enjoying their jobs. I don't think any journalists have enjoyed their jobs over the last few years. It must be hell on earth. So here he is meeting a victim. Is this your boat? Or did it become your boat? So obviously these poor people have lost a lot of things. And Donald Trump's come along and just, you know, shat all over their day. That boat is wiped out. Or not. It's all the press wondering how on earth they're going to tell people what the president said when he turned up to try and help the victims feel better. Was this one where he threw paper towels at people to help mop up water? I can't remember. Wouldn't want to cross the ocean in it. Look at his smug face. The person who's drawn this has done a really good job because they've really got the punchability of this president in this face here. And here he is, crossing the ocean. I wish he would cross the ocean on that boat. It's probably not very seaworthy. Do you know whose boat that is? Everyone's looking on horrified. There's a lot of that goes on if you look at the news. I try not to watch the news, but I do try to keep up with it. They don't know whose boat that is. There's a lot of that as well going on. And he talks. You can't work out what he's trying to say sometimes. He said something yesterday in about 15 days. I couldn't understand. I honestly, I had to ask my friend and she had no idea. To see what we're seeing, this boat. I don't know what happened, but this boat just came here. He doesn't know what happened. He went to visit because there was a hurricane. But he doesn't know what happened. And here he is, imagining the boat has sexy legs. And that's how it got to New Bern. Do you think he thinks everything has sexy legs? At least you got a nice boat out of the deal. That phrase, at least, that's one of my least favourite words. At least this, at least that. Just let people have their feelings. And their feelings are not that they want just a pack of hot dogs, I think. Maybe a yoghurt. Have a good time. And there he is, throwing stuff at them. There they all are. They're all happy to see him go. Left wondering what on earth he was there for. Whether he helped at all. The end. There is no moral. This book was assembled by the staff of The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, based on an idea by Emmy Blotnick. Produced by Stephen Colbert, Tom Purcell, Chris Licht, Denise Rerick, Matt Lappin, Opus Mareshi, Emmy Blotnick and Brian Stack. Illustrations by Andrew Bonetta and John Henry. 100% of The Late Show's proceeds from this book go to hurricane relief, which is why we bought it. I also think things like this will be really important in years to come. How we all dealt with what will surely be a period of history that everyone's going to look back on and wonder what on earth was happening. And how he got away with it for so long. I remember when he was up for election the first time, he said some really awful things about disabled people. And I knew then what a bad person he was, because he says bad things about disabled people. And then he said terrible things about women. And who says terrible things about women? And then he was elected president, and I couldn't quite believe it. And then the more I watch late night shows such as Stevens and the one that Seth Meyers does, the more I thought, oh my word, no one's going to stop him. It's not going to stop, it's just going to carry on. This hasn't been as hopeful as I thought it might be when I came in the room to read a bedtime story. I thought, I'll come in here and I'll read a story, and I picked this book up and it made me feel terrible. So I do apologise for that. But I think being reminded of what a terrible person Donald Trump is at any opportunity is what the world needs. So I suppose my my closing message is, please don't listen to what Donald Trump's saying about the virus. Please stay in. Please stay safe. It's not forever. People are more important than money. Some people may not make it, but the fewer people that don't make it, the better. So please stay inside and please don't listen to him. Don't listen to his advice. If you do want to listen to his advice, check first that it's real. Because he complains about the fake news all the time, but there's no one more fake than Donald Trump. So, I promise to have a nicer book tomorrow. In the meantime, to all my friends in America, I've got a couple of you out there, please be safe and I love you very much. Okay, bye-bye.